What's a question that you may have wondered on your own but never really asked anybody? And you can ask me it if you want.
I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I don't think like I ever wanted to like have that specific question that I need to ask anyone. Um, Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's okay. I I was more of just asking because usually some people, you might have like some kind of thought that's been in your head. I mean, maybe you haven't talked to someone else about it, or maybe you have, and you just kind of want to like maybe know other people. Like you ask them that question to kind of get to know them, type deal.
Hon- Honestly, I don't see things like that. I feel like asking someone a question, I don't know, it's such an American thing. I'm sorry, don't mean to be like I'm an immigrant. So people would ask me questions when I first came in. I actually didn't have answers to them. Like first thing would be like when they introduced themselves, would be like, "What do you do?" Like I felt it was so not something that I grew up with. For me to like learn about someone, something, I have to be with that someone, be around them, and observe them, and do things with that person. And I see people in action rather than in conversation, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you get to know the person by pretty much, interacting with them on an actual face-to-face basis, or just
Yeah.
interacting with them in
It's just
general,
generally interaction. I
yeah.
think so. I feel like I can know a person. Well, I hope I can know a person in like 5 minutes of conversation. Like, uh, people usually just I don't know. I either I'm very lucky, or people I've talked to always ended up being people I want to be around with. Well, there are some people that I don't like to be around, but just generally, I don't care. Like, I guess principle of question is not my thing.
Okay.
um, Principle of present, who you are, like what you are like right now when we're conversing, right? I think that's
Yeah.
more meaningful for me. And yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I mean everyone, learns differently, so of course everyone would have a different kind of interaction for how they get to know someone as well. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I've been here like 13 years, and I learned that I kind of have to ask questions. I don't know, you know, to people to know them, and I don't think so, because I felt so uncomfortable when people flood me with questions. And then, by the way, I realized that somebody got offended because I did not ask them questions. But I didn't care about asking them questions. So I thought that I was just being me, but apparently they thought I was not giving them enough attention because I was not asking about them. But they didn't realize that they were telling me about them as we were having the conversation. So I don't know. It's I guess.
I mean, it's a very interesting viewpoint. I've never had anyone explain it to me in that way. It just kind of seems like what I'm getting is that here in America, we grow up and kind of interact with each other in a way of almost secrecy. We keep things from each other unless it's asked. Someone has to ask for it. You don't just present it for no reason. But you're saying that, you would essentially, you'll get that information from just talking with them and being around them and listening to them kind of be who they are, and like that's what you pay attention to. That gradual over time is what depicts it for you.
I Yeah. I am that person. I feel like if you talk to me, you'll learn about me a lot of things. I'm sorry about the background noise. I have birds and a husband talking same time. But I think I agree with you. I personally think that I can learn about people by just having conversation with them, like just normal conversation, like whatever we're doing, drinking together, playing games together, walking together. It's just a moment. Moments bring people to feel at ease with you, I think, and just open up. Sometimes uh, you probably heard like it's easier to open up to a stranger than to a person who you know very well. Don't you wonder
Yes.
why?
My theory is because you don't care as much about that stranger's opinion of you as you do your friend or close loved one.
But if they are your friends, they shouldn't, like, I don't know, like, why would we, like, I don't know. I just think that I love talking to everyone. I just pretty easy to talk to people, so maybe just me.
Okay. I mean, I think it's just, I mean, it makes perfect sense, saying out loud the whole like we don't care as much about the stranger's opinion as we do about the people close to us, and like that's why we probably wouldn't open up to the people close to us as much as we would open up to a complete stranger sometimes.
But
And that is a pretty interesting thought, and it doesn't make any sense.
that's wrong, I think, because if people know me, love me, and care about me, should know about me more, right? Rather than I
Yes.
should be able to talk to them. And it's just like, the fear of just being judged and like the pressure, I guess, it's so high. Like we lost the trust between each other. I feel like, yeah, I'm never gonna see that person, so it's easier to just dump all of my thoughts on that person and bye. But it's not how you. I, I don't know. I've grew up in a very tight community. Family and friends come first. From where I'm from, it's like I don't know. I don't hide anything. I don't feel like I hidden anything from people that I've been closest to. I don't have that moment of like I was easier. It was easier to talk to a stranger. I think if I talk to a stranger and I open up to that stranger, I want to keep that stranger in my life. I want that person to become my friend and not to fear that I will never be vulnerable with them. But yeah, I think we should be able to talk to close ones, people who, I guess, who want best for us easier than to strangers, but it's reversed for some reason.
I I think that now now that I'm hearing it, it kind of might go along with what I was talking about today in the sense of how the community affects individuals, right? So you say
Yeah, I was
I have
gonna say
Wi-Fi
resourceful.
connected to the signal. I'm just on my phone. No. Well, I mean, now I'm near the window.
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you better. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what I was saying before was that we had talked about community and how that affects individuals. And in that line, I've read about some other places and I've been to a lot of small towns here in America. It's not quite the same, but it is still kind of there. That whole close knit of the community you live in, that's more seen in small towns and villages than it is in like the big city. Like it doesn't make, we were talking about how it doesn't make sense how in New York City you're surrounded by millions of people, but you can feel more alone there than if you went to like a small town out west.
Yes, that is so true. It that might that is it. I think that is it. Um, when I told my mom, I don't know. any of my neighbors in the building. She was
Yeah.
shocked. She was shocked. She was like, "What do you mean? What if you need sugar or egg?" And I'm like, "Well, I better go to the grocery store and buy it." I don't know my neighbors. Uh, I don't know. It's weird for me because like I said, I come from such a strong, connected community. It's like we lived when I was growing up. We lived in like 11th floor building, and I think every single neighbor had key to our apartment. I swear. I feel like it was not a big deal if my mom had to leave, emergency or something,
Mhm.
like she would easily just leave me with neighbor, and it's like we would have dinners at each other's apartments, like when kids were like together and stuff. It just felt such a big home, big family. But it's different in a big city. But it was in a big city, to be honest, from where I'm from. But I think it's also about how big is the country,
Yeah.
Um, my country is like probably like 0.05% of the United States. So I think that makes a big difference. But yeah, I don't know my neighbors. Sad.
Well, see, that's a normal thing here in
Yeah.
America. And I mean, it's the one thing I want to point out was you were saying how your mom was shocked and she was like, who are you gonna ask for sugar or anything like that. So I think it's probably because we've gotten to the point where we don't rely on each other to necessarily meet our daily needs here. So that gives us more a sense of just ourselves, and we don't worry about interacting with other people because we can get practically everything now without having to leave the house.
I know. Pandemic proved that. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, in that sense, you've got less people who are more inclined to come outside because I mean, unless we want some type of social interaction or we need help,
What,
we're generally not taught to really interact.
we need that. We're humans.
We do.
We need to interact.
Yes.
I'm deprived of interaction with people. I love hanging out with people. I would like okay, this is such a weird thing to say, but I feed figuratively on other people's like good moods, and I like to make other people happy. I like to make jokes. I like to be stupid around them so they laugh or have fun, and then I just feed on that happiness, and it makes me feel such a good way. And I feel like I I miss that. I miss sometimes like I feel like more we're away from each other, less we trust each other, and I don't know. Sometimes I just need to be even. I would love to be dependent on someone. Like it would be so nice just to be like, hey, what you doing? Like just randomly, come over. Like for example, a neighbor. You wanna watch something together, or I don't know, drink a coffee, drink a wine. I have a neighbor who I kind of ended up being close to, but because she had a cat and she needed someone to cat sit, and I love cats, and unfortunately I can't have one because I have birds. But so I was like, oh my god, yes, can I please do that? So it was just that's how we did, and we ended up going out a couple times, like let's have dinner together. But it's not the same. It's like I feel the distance. I feel like people are like scared, not scared, but like what they say, how they say it, like how they present themselves in front of you. It's just like I think people are paying way too much attention to the non unimportant things rather than like be together and hang out and not be alone. I don't like to be alone, and I feel lonely. And I have a lot of friends, but it's not the same. It's not.
I mean, I agree and I do understand that. That's something that a lot of people are struggling with right now with the pandemic. Um, People
Without
are not.
pandemic too. Trust
Yeah.
me that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to be a normal thing. I see not normal, but I don't see, how can I say, I see some people who are like in groups, but like I don't feel like it's on a big scale. And like you said, it might be the issue with the country being so big, right? So, and it's a big city, so that may be it. But I don't know. I think it's just generally how it works. People get in small groups and they don't want anybody else in that group. And like me and Rascal, that guy is my friend, and I don't need anyone in there. Rascal, did you know that? Sorry, I had to interrupt.
Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, I mean that makes sense. Generally people have cliques or little groups that they hang out with, and having too many people in that group becomes kind of a bit too chaotic for a lot of people to handle. Because at that point, if you've got 10 people that are all friends together and you hang out all the time, you've got 10 different emotions, 10 different personalities. And as we
Yeah.
grow and get older, it becomes harder to maintain those, and you can't really like line it up with everyone in
You
that
think?
group. So, I mean, you could if you made that your focus, but here in America, we don't focus on family per se. It's not in a very good light, which I don't like, and I'm not sure how to approach it differently, but it doesn't feel like, you're told family is family, blood is blood. Family should be there for you no matter what. But there's been a lot of kind of messed up things that have been coming out, and that, we kind of went about things a little bit the wrong way for too long. And now we're at a point where people are not sure what to do when they go into society. There's a lot of pressure to make it look like you have your life together and that you're okay and that you're going to make it and you're going to be successful. That's what we're all driven by, kind of, or at least that's how it feels a lot of the time.
I hear you. I honestly, I feel like I was asked that question. I mean, I work like I'm okay. So I've been lucky and I've been blessed to have things that I have, and I'm very grateful. Because I know a lot of great people who would love to have half of it and they can't get it for some reason. But I always think that I don't know, like if I could, I would give everything I have, but doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Well, some
Yeah.
of it. So, but I think I'm in things for different reasons. Like I love working, and luckily I have a good job, but I don't work because of money. I mean, money is a benefit of it. I enjoy it, yes, but I don't. I do it because I love working. I love to be occupied. I love doing things. Just generally, I love doing everything. Um, I have a bit of a problem with trying to figure out. No, I'm not having a problem. I feel like this is something that I've been trying to, I guess, fight with. That I have to have one thing that I should be great at and that I should dedicate my life to it. But unfortunately, or fortunately, I've been trying everything. I like to try everything. I would like to. I wanted to play a piano. I learned how to play a piano. I wanted to play guitar. I learned how to play guitar. I wanted to speak a different language. I learned one. I learned second. I try everything and I don't dedicate to it my entire life. I love experimenting things. And I think I have different reasons because I try to like just make experiences for myself just to be there that, oh, I can do that. I've done this. Oh, let me try if I can do that. Oh no, I'm really bad at this. And and it just I don't know. I don't know why I ended up saying all of this because I kind of detoured from what you were saying.
Oh,
But
that's okay.
But generally, I think you are able to do all of that if you have support of your family. And I've always, my mom just let me be, even though like my family wasn't as great as perfect either. Like it had its own flaws, but they allowed me to be who I am, if that makes sense. And
Yes.
the part that I always was proud of, because I always could go back to my family, and it just doesn't feel like it doesn't matter how old you are. Your mom is mom and dad is dad, and it's like always they get to say the last word in my culture. So it's very different to see here how it's more of a like, you are responsible now. You go make your future, and you are an independent person. I'm here for you, but it's not that close family relations. I
Yeah.
feel. Um, and again, every culture is different, and
Yeah.
I just um, if this how it is and it's how it works, it's how it works. It's fine, and that's why I notice all of these things, and I did get nostalgic because I miss all my old ways. I have a great respect for this country. This is my home. I met my husband here. I love it. I love being here, but I also just miss my tweaks and cultural parts, and just makes me think, oh, how great would be if it was like that. But
Yeah.
generally, I don't know. One thing that I'm very worried about is like people's trust, I guess, because people don't trust you, they don't want to interact with you, and they don't want to interact with you, then you don't have enough friends. um so it's like, give me a chance. I have friends, but like, I want to be friends with everyone.
Yeah.
That is something about me, but yeah, but not everybody likes me, so that's fine. I don't
Yeah,
like
I mean
everybody.
yeah, I mean, do you like everybody, Would you want to
Exactly.
be
So
friends with everyone in the world?
yes, you cannot ask everyone to like you when you don't like yourself, everyone. But
Yeah.
yeah, I hear you. God, okay.
So, let me ask you this. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going too deep in that. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. So then what necessarily drives you as a person?
I think, um, okay, my perspective of doing right things.
Okay.
I might not be right, but from what I see, and it makes me feel that I'm doing right thing. I like doing right things, and I feel like to do like just. I don't want to say justice. It's just not the word, but I'm trying to think of what word can be easier. Justice is too big. I don't want to use that. Just fairness. I like to like, that drives me, I guess, to do right things and be fair.
Okay. Based on your own perspective of it. I
Yes,
like
because
that
like
you
I
added
said,
that.
I
That's
might be not
important.
be right for everyone,
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
definitely. I mean,
but view, if I see something that I need to do, and I will do it, and it doesn't scares me. I just go dive in it. So just make it happen. So
okay.
yeah, that makes me
Nice. I mean,
happy.
that's really good. So, you said you've been here for 13 years?
Yeah,
Okay.
13
If you
years.
could give yeah, if you could give advice to you, like if you could write a letter to you back when, like before you were on your way here 13 years ago. I don't know how old you are right now. You don't have to tell me. But what would you say?
I feel like I shouldn't write myself a
No?
letter. I shouldn't. Um,
Okay.
I'm basing my everyday life on the emotions I have. Um, I'm generally a very emotional person, and I feel like if I send myself a message from the future, I would avoid a lot of things that I experienced that had something to do with who I am as a person over these 13 years. So I don't think I would change any of that. Though there are so many things I would love to ask myself not to do, but I feel like those mistakes have defined me who I am. So
Yeah.
I might have ended up a completely different person. So I don't know. I wouldn't send myself a letter, honestly, unless it's like something like, hey, more like 20 years ago, and be like, don't forget to buy Starbucks stocks, or you know,
Yeah,
like pro-
of course. Yeah, yeah, something so that, nowadays me and my family will be
yes.
millionaires.
I
Yeah.
mean, listen, no one, like, money hasn't hurt anyone. Okay, in a well, it depends on the situation, but a little bit of money benefits everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I absolutely. I've never met a problem that I couldn't solve if I would have just had like a little bit more money to be able to take care of
right,
it.
it's sad.
So,
No, I don't know if it's sad. I mean, the point of like money cannot buy happiness. It's such a gray area. There's so much gray area in that statement, because there's so many things you can make yourself happy with money. Um, just generally, I think so. I don't know.
yeah, I
If
mean,
I
it
can
would.
profit myself, for sure, I would buy Starbucks stocks. But yeah,
I mean, to emphasize more on the money can't buy happiness and it's a gray area. Like I completely agree. On the one hand, um, this comedian I had seen quite a while ago had mentioned, that it's kind of bullshit that money can't buy happiness because you don't really ever see anyone sad on a jet ski, and money buys a jet ski. And so, in that sense, kind of elaborating on that, I don't think that necessarily like the problems I have that can be solved by money are going to make me happy. I just feel like they would give me the opportunity to pursue what would make me happy. Like if I didn't have to worry about the money, then I could focus on me. So, I mean, money does, in a way, at least help you get the chance to be happy.
okay. I'm gonna ask you a question that my husband came up with. Okay,
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
and I need your opinion about it. If
Okay.
you could have two options, $10 million or super health. And by health, meaning that you can eat whatever you want, whenever you want. Like, you will always have perfect nutrients in your body, and you will have perfect health all the time. Or $10 million. What would you do?
That's tough.
Right? No, listen. My first choice was money right away. I said, listen, baby. I said, I will hire my own chef who would cook
Yeah.
healthy meals so I can be like get all the nutrients I need. But one day, midnight, in my age, you pay attention to midnight eating, okay? You might have not paid attention about 15 years ago about it, but when you reach my age, which we're not disclosing, you care about what you eat after 6 p.m., okay?
Yes.
So here I am wanting to eat entire freaking cheesecake, okay? That is when it hit me. I was like, I could always freaking work. I might not make $10 million, but I can always make enough money to make myself happy. And I could eat at midnight freaking cheesecake. An entire freaking cheesecake.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that was my thought was like super health, because the money I could get, I could build things, I could help people and I could make myself, be healthy and everything. But if I'm gonna have perfect health until what, I die, I of old age, then
Right?
absolutely, because I am at a point where I do have to wake up in the middle of the night to go to use the bathroom based on what I've eaten throughout the day. And if I could eat whatever I wanted, I probably
Never.
would be a bit happier.
Dude, like I'm just like 10 mil just threw me off. I was like, oh my god. Because $10 million is a lot of money. A lot
That
of
is a lot of
money.
money, yes.
I
But
probably might work entire life and not make 10 mil. But in the end of the day, what you said, like sometimes I have to like think about what I'm eating
mhm,
because I'm about to take a flight, or go on a trip. Oh, I should not eat that. I should not have lactose intolerant person anything with dairy, you know?
yeah,
No, I think money can buy a lot of things, including some happiness. It is still a gray area of the statement, but yeah, I feel like it's in your hands. You can make it happen, right? Right? If you're dedicating and you want to work, you can make it work. I
yeah.
think.
I mean, it's possible. People out there have done it, so clearly it's possible.
Um, I do you actually believe that somebody who had never had enough money, like, actually became rich?
I, I mean, that's what the common belief is. So, I mean, up until you asked me that question, I had not questioned it. Save for like maybe certain individuals that I may know a little bit of their background because I've done my own investigating and research of, how they got to where they're at. But I do believe that it's possible to hit a point of having millions of dollars, whether or not you were reaching for that goal based on things. I mean, I think it comes down to luck sometimes.
I was about to ask you. I was about to say, do you think it has to do with luck? I feel so too. I think luck
Yes.
has so much part in it too. I mean, I honestly, I honestly believe that things happen in the right time, right? Like, and there was a bit of luck there too, and
Yeah.
they just bloomed. Um, yeah, I think it's rare. I personally, I don't think people just out of blue become rich. I think many rich people are passed down. They like their finances to them,
Yeah.
but there are just geniuses out there who, you know, that's who they are. Just smart people. Be smart people. Be nice. I wonder.
What do you mean by smart?
Like, I don't know. Like, have you not had like when you like? I feel like it stuck with me since I was little. Um, to have something that would like shock everyone. Like to do something that is super great, super successful, super, I don't know, like people learned it, you know? Like what Elon Musk is doing right now, sending rockets into
Yes.
space,
Yeah.
like I'm just like, can you imagine what's happening in that person's brain? Just be like, ah, this is my dream and I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna make that rocket sit on an arrow same way that it took off. It just like blows my mind. That's something that generation. That's a history. Be nice. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's I think sometimes it's born out of a supportive family, and sometimes it's born out of the individual who just does not take no for an answer.
Oh, I love that.
Because I mean, you're I mean, like for example, Elon Musk, we know where he's at now, but very rarely do people look into what it took for him to get here.
Oh, I bet. I bet that that
Like
man,
even
like you said, did not take no for an answer.
and I mean that in the sense of like no one was going to stop me from reaching my dream. No one's going to stop me from making this happen. I'm going to do this, and whether or not anyone thinks it's possible is not important to me. It's only important whether or not I think it's possible, and I think it is, so I'm going to do
Oh, Frog, I feel that way about my job.
it.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I was like, I want to say 13, 14, when I met someone who worked for my organization where I work now. And I don't know, I was so impressed about it. And I was like, oh my God, I want to grow up and work at that organization. It took me many years, many years. But I was like, I'm going to get a job in that organization. And after 65 positions that I've applied, I finally got in. Um, it just, but it's a small dream, you know.
Yeah.
I've had like Jesus. I feel like if I wanted to send the rocket into space, oh God help me. I wish I had that passion. I would really appreciate it. Um, but I have small little dreams, and I make it happen. And then I look at my husband and I say, I think I run out of dreams. I said, I don't know what I want to do next because I feel like I'm in such a great place right now. I have everything that I ever wanted. And what's happening? I said, what do I do next? It's scary. It's a scary thought.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, for starters, who's to say what dreams are big and what dreams are small? You
Aw,
dictate that.
that's so sweet of
And
you.
I don't, I mean, thank you, but I really do believe that they, the size of what you want that you see in your head only matters to you. So if you don't care how big or small it is, then there is no big or small. It doesn't live in that box. It's just a dream. It's a dream to you that you want. You have that passion. Some people have passion for building space rockets and going to space. Some people have passion for calculus. Some people have passion for chemistry. Some people have passion for playing video games or staring at the grass or making a garden or going surfing or going skydiving or drawing or making design art on the internet. We all have different things we're into and different things that drive us and different things that we're passionate about. So I mean, I think a big thing that probably would just help society in general would be, to not compare what you're trying to accomplish to another person and what they're trying to accomplish. Because what drives them is completely different than what drives you.
It's such a nice thought. I wish that was deeply implemented. Can you imagine if that people actually realize that and be like, you know what, my dream is as important as sending a rocket into space, right? And
Well,
it just Unfortunately, we live in a world where my horse is bigger than yours kind of a situation. Um, it's so much competition, so much competition, and
Yeah.
then you kind of get lost in your dream because the dream that you wanted was definitely smaller. So now you have to make a new dream that might not even be your dream, but as long as it's bigger, I feel it's something that I've seen. Small dreams are, I don't know, small dreams are my thing apparently, because but I would have loved to send a rocket into space.
Yeah.
I've been obsessed with the space since I was little. Like seriously, since I first time watched Alien. Oh, I loved Sigourney Weaver, and I was like, I love that movie. And I was like 7 years old. What was I thinking? Why did my family let me watch it? But I loved Alien. I've been obsessed since, but not enough to have a career in it. It's just
Yeah.
also like I don't think we have my country's not a first world country, so it's like we don't have that encouragement. Like when you're growing up, you either people constantly keep asking you, who do you want to be when you grow up? And then the most famous part is a doctor, a lawyer, um, what was there? God knows. Oh, like something like very common thing, but like you would never hear somebody telling you, oh, when I grow up I want to be a marine biologist. Like I'm dying to learn that. I was Unfortunately, I learned about marine biology when I was too old for it to happen. Well, maybe not really, I could always go to it, but I feel like it's a lost cause for me now. Uh, but I would love to be a marine biologist or something related to environment, like environmental science or something, because I love um, animals. I love SeaWorld. Like I don't know. I'm into environmental stuff, but I don't know. So I wish we had more access to that. Oh, you can grow up, be whatever you want to be. I remember one of my cousins used to say when he grows up, he wanted to be a trash man because we had every morning, every Sunday morning, the huge truck will show up in the neighborhood with the bell that it was time for to throw out the trash. But it was such an amazing thing to see. Everybody wanted to ring that bell, so everybody wanted to be a trash man, and it's just like what? It's we were not exposed, and here, oh, I love that they expose children to everything. I feel like it's so much freedom. Oh, I don't have my own kids. I might never have them, but if I had one, I would be like, grow up, whoever you want to be, whatever you want to be, whenever you want to be. This world is yours.
Yeah.
It
And
would
I
be
mean,
nice.
I think that's a really important thing to have. I mean, I've heard people say some pretty negative things about quite a lot of what you've said. And I mean, the first thing I'll touch on, I guess, would just be it's the size. You know, you were saying like it's a very my horse is bigger than your horse type of society that's going on. And I think the problem is the fact that we care about someone else's size of their horse that has not come to us and asked us if we should help them or what we think about it. We're just upset that that person has more, or that that person, or I have more than that person, so I feel better about myself than I do about that person. But I think just the comparison in general of putting that box onto whatever it is that you might be interested in is probably not helpful in terms of like trying to figure it out, because it doesn't need to be, you know, my dream is just as important as your dream. And the importance doesn't matter. You have a dream, I have a dream. Do what you want with it. As long as you're not hurting anybody, do what you want with your dream. It doesn't have to be more important than mine. It doesn't have to be bigger than mine. It doesn't have to be less. It just needs to be you. That's it. That's the whole point of being alive, is to just be you. Because if we were born to be someone else, we would just think about being other people.
I it's so hard to get that out there. It just I don't know. Like you said, maybe it's been so long that we just got used to this and made it normal. There's nothing normal about that. Um,
Not at all.
I think, yeah, I think we just, I, you know, I'm gonna a little bit emphasize on normal. Like I feel like we used it a lot of times when today, like while we were having conversation. Well, that's just normal for this, or that's just normal how it goes. And I don't like what makes it normal. Like how do we define that was normal? Like so many things that just happening and just became normal, and I'm doing my by the way, I'm doing the quotations. I think you see this, like, because I don't even know anymore, like, it should be normal because there's nothing normal about it. How Yes, I think everybody gets to be what they want to be, however they want to be, without feeling guilty about it either. Like some
Yeah.
people were born into privilege, others didn't. And there's always this thing like, oh, some people feel guilty. You know, I personally, I I don't consider myself wealthy, but compared to people that I know, I have more luxurious life than others. Okay. So, like, my mom, how can I say, the washing machine is not normal where I live, where I grew up. Washing machine is a luxury there.
Yeah.
Seeing my mom washing clothes in a sink in a cold, freezing water. We do not have air conditioning or the central heaters in the buildings. It was never, I'm still doing the quotation marks as I'm saying normal. Um, but and I felt guilty. Frog, I felt guilty that I was able to go, when I came to this country, to go and take showers and to be able to have a dry machine and washing machine and dishwasher. I felt so guilty. I felt guilty when I would go out and buy a sandwich and a drink that would cost me $17. And I know people who would live by $17 for a week over there. It was their, like, budget for 1 week, and it just made me feel so guilty. Um, I I just I don't know what is the fix to this. I don't know how there is a perfect situation that you get to be who you get to be without feeling guilty, without making other people feel guilty, like without judging other people or being judged. It's so many gray area being a human being and
Yeah.
living as a human. It's just like, if I go in every detail, it just blows my mind because I feel like everybody that strives for the perfection, we don't like, what is the perfection?
There isn't one.
Like, then we should be all emotionless. We should be all like just zombies and robots and just not feel it, because I feel like everybody has their destiny and cause when they come to this world and their path. And I
Yeah.
feel like accepting that is what is our problem. I think we are not accepting it, and we fight it, and then if it lasts long, we just brand it with normal, and we don't do anything about it, and
Yeah,
it's gee, I went deep. I'm sorry.
that's okay. So I'm gonna
See?
respond to that, and then we're gonna have to wrap it up. Sorry.
Right, no, yeah.
Um. So as far as normal goes, I mean, something I've talked with some people that I'm close to is, try not to say normal, try to say common, because that's what normal was supposed to originally be used for, was things that were just common amongst people. When you get enough people together, you're going to eventually see the things that we do that are the same. So we would think to some degree that that's the level of what we need to be, but that's not the case. There isn't anything that you can make every human being sit down and look at and say, all right, this is what we all need to be. It's too different, especially right now. With even you just describing where you come from and where you are now. It's so vastly different that to think that we could do that in our current lifetime would be pretty hard, but I think we can try. I think that getting to a point of having people understand that there is no actual normal and that common things among us are just that. They're just common things that we do as a species, but as the human being we are. But each of us individually is still going to do something different. And I think, as far as feeling guilty that you can't, or for enjoying the luxuries that you have, knowing that people who wish that they could have that, is probably a common thing to feel, just in the sense that you're aware that you're getting this and you're grateful for it, right? Like you're not throwing it in those people's faces. You feel guilty that you have it and you want to share it with those people. And I wish more people felt that way. And I think that's how we would get to a point where eventually we would be okay with understanding that we are individuals, but we do still occupy the same space on this planet. We only have this planet. That's it. There's nothing else outside of this that we know of. And whether we believe that something happens after we die, whether we believe in destiny, whether we believe in God, no matter what we believe or don't believe in, the hard, cold fact is we are all human beings and we all inhabit this one planet. And what we do with our life, our current, I mean, aside from reincarnation, I guess, what we do with our single one life that we have is our own modeling of this planet and the society that we're a part of. We choose how much we want to affect. We choose what we want to take on. We choose what we care about, what we don't care about. We choose that by the end of our life, we can look back and say, I did all of this for humanity, or for myself, or for my sister, or for my dog, or for my birds, or, for whatever it is that you cared about throughout your life that kept you going. That's what you did it for. That's what you did it for. But the only thing you're going to leave behind is everything that you did. And if there's 7 billion people in the world, in about 100 years, 7 billion people left their mark on this planet.
I hope so. I really do.
And I mean, I believe they all did. I mean, whether anyone else feels anyone accomplished anything or not is not important. There was a life, and there was a death, and there was an in between.
Oh, that's deep.
And that's what you did in the in between. That's all that exists on this planet.
Yeah.
So And you were talking about how you like marine biology, you like environmental science. Maybe you don't want to go out there and start a protest to save some, fish or animals, or you don't want to get together a large group of people to, maybe stop some company from drilling or cutting down trees or anything. Maybe that's not what you specifically want to do. Maybe you just like how interesting it is. There's nothing wrong with just reading about it, with being interested in it. You don't have to live your life by it.
It, like,
I enjoy reading stuff about psychology.
I that was my undergrad. Um, that that's a good point. I I feel I read this saying somewhere, and I think I have it on. I don't think I have it on my Instagram profile, saying that it's maybe sometimes small. Wait, how is it? Something about maybe you're unable to do great thing, but you're able to do small little great things, something that just builds up, like small
Yeah,
things to the greatness or whatever.
yeah,
Like, if you get what I'm trying to say,
yeah.
I
You
feel
can.
like I do try to do small things that I think not necessarily will be like mark and say, "Oh, she did it," "Oh, do you know
Yeah,
her?" "Oh, yes, I totally know her." No, but I feel like just doing that makes me happy, and knowing that I did it. Like, we do some charities, whenever we see something that where we can help, we just hop in and do it. And we do it. I'm gonna be selfish about it too. It also makes me feel good. Knowing that I benefited someone makes me feel good about myself. And I don't find there's anything wrong with it, because if I keep being happy, I will do more happy stuff. I think so. So I'm all about just um let's do good stuff and just be happy about it too. I feel that would make so many people's mind being at ease. Small things. It doesn't have to be a rocket in space, because we have Elon Musk doing that. So
yeah.
get that covered.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I don't think that. I mean, even if you did things just for people to know that it was you, you still did things. As long as you didn't do anything to hurt anyone or
Right?
set anyone else back.
Oh, look at that. We're back to your first sentence.
I don't think that the opinion of it matters other than what you care about.
Not hurting anyone is, I think, a really good point. Live the life in a way that just, I don't know, doesn't hurt anyone, including yourself.
Yes.
That's a nice thing, nice thought too. Um, it can bring a peace to someone's mind, I guess. Hopefully mine and yours. But this was really nice. I really appreciate a conversation. I really appreciate being invited. Um, Usually I wouldn't have done it. I do love talking, man. I do, but it depends. What if you were not the type of a person who likes talking? So I would be like, damn it, it's gonna end in 5 minutes. But yeah.
No, I like to ask questions, and I find that the best way to kind of get the questions answered, is to just listen. Just let the person talk it, and let the if sometimes it sounds like the person's thinking about it while they're talking. And I mean, that's an interesting thing always to hear someone thinking while they're talking, and they're talking it out and they're working it out and they're thinking about it, and you can kind of even like, I wouldn't say hear the machinery at work inside the head type deal, but you know, you can hear that something's happening, and I like that. I like that aspect of it. So it's always good to find people who like to talk.
So you agree then that you probably know more about me right now than
No,
asking me three questions. No? Do you see what I'm
no,
trying to say? No.
yes, okay,
I was just gonna say that I think like just having a conversation with you kind of makes me feel what kind of person you are, and instead of showering you with unnecessary questions, we just had a conversation, and I feel like that was very nice. So I appreciate it.
yeah, no problem. But you see how I asked you questions during the conversation,
Well,
and
not
we talked
questions.
about it. We didn't. That was the thing. We elaborated on it. That's the important part.
It wasn't wasted.
Yes.
It was meaningful, and you actually wanted to know my answers. Got it.
Yes.
Good thing. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed this talk, and I mean, I learned a lot from it as well. So you know, I hope you were able to take something from this, and I hope this was as insightful for you as it was for me.
Was